welcome back to No More Heroes. Travis strikes again. We're on the third death ball, which is coffee and donuts, but more importantly, this is the shitty PS1 game.
So explain this to me. What's this about?
You'll see once the shitty PS1 intro starts.
10 minutes and 53 seconds, by the way. That's how long the Papers, Please short film was.
Hey.
Seems about the amount of story you could get out of something like Papers, Please.
I think, but there's probably, as Ted was getting at last time, there are nuances and subtleties you can only get from playing the game and experiencing it yourself.
Yeah, I know.
Shitty PS1 opening.
I like how it was just a picture of an explosion.
It's symbolic.
This is really authentic bad PS1 CGI.
Yeah.
I just find it funny that the studio that they had make this originally sent them like something that looked better, and then she was like, "No, but what if it was?
Well,
what if
that's-
it was worse?" Wait,
It
what
has to be.
happened
It
the
has
head
to be worse.
That was in the.
Yeah, it's shitty PS1 intro.
Yeah.
I mean, there were a very rare number of PS1 games that had even good animation to go with their bad CGI. So, I mean, I was just playing Tomb Raider Chronicles, which was a 1991 game, and the characters in those CGI movies look like fucking sock puppets. Okay.
I noticed. I noticed with PS1 FMV specifically, it's either the models look great but the animation shit, or the animation's great but the models look like
Or it's
ass.
square, which is inexplicably beautiful.
Or it's square. Yeah. Although Square had the issue of not having a good frame rate for their FMVs.
Yeah.
You know, because even Resident Evil 2 ran at 30. And Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9, I believe, ran at like 20.
They
or
had to
12.
shrink they had to compress the FMVs down somewhat to fit them on the discs, is the problem.
And because there were so many
Yeah.
of them, sure.
There was also an inconsistency thing in Final Fantasy VII's case, where in one earlier video, Sephiroth has frickin' hair tentacles, but then in later videos he has like individual strands, and it's awkward. I mean, that's nothing on Tomb Raider 4, which has Lara's guns inexplicably change models between CGI FMVs, and her CGI model doesn't look like her in-game model at all. So
Oh, these portraits are beautiful.
I love it when they just take the CGI promo renders that they. Wait, why is he following you in this one?
He has dialogue. He doesn't actually do anything.
Oh, okay. Wait, what? What is this?
what is this?
This. I.
Yeah, what gameplay style are we emulating this time?
It's still mostly the beat 'em up stuff, but it's running around effectively a Resident Evil mansion.
Oh.
They should have pre-rendered the angles.
This level is one of the weaker ones, I feel, because a lot of the secrets are tied behind doing certain things with certain doors. So it can be kind of confusing to get everything. This is definitely one that took me a long time to actually get everything in.
It is a Resident
you ever-
Evil mansion. Oh God.
Yeah, every time I see the grand staircase that branches off into two pathways on the top, I always think Spencer. It's like,
Or it could just be a mansion design that's
no, shut up,
Well-
Ted.
in
Out of here with that
Well, yeah,
logic.
the
up.
it is a standard like mansion design in the real world, but Resident Evil is notable for using it specifically to design an interesting structure for its game. And then Resident Evil 2 took that and simplified it into something arguably less interesting, but
So I like how this house has a bathroom sign in it, so that you don't know where your own bathroom is. It's here you go.
Good guy, jumping like on the fucking moon.
Or in a video game, so.
Wouldn't Resident Evil have felt like a very different game if you could just hop around like a maniac because you were in a rush?
I mean, you could wheelie downstairs in Remake, so.
What?
Oh,
Yeah, the speed tech.
You don't remember like?
Oh,
Chris
yeah,
going,
when I-
"Woo,
when-
got the stairs."
Oh,
When you pump the run button on stairs.
right.
That's not jumping though. That's just sliding. Like, if you could jump in a Resident Evil game, I don't really think that would affect anything. No, that's not true. If you can, like, probably actually jump on drawers or cabinets that you normally just walk around awkwardly.
I feel like Chris wouldn't be able to jump, but he'd be able to punch the ground hard enough that he propels himself up into the air. Although then again, his body mass is also probably so great that he probably way too much to get much height though.
This would have been a more authentic PS1 experience if they'd gotten their coffee guy to do voice acting for it.
You know what I would really have loved, and obviously this isn't the kind of game where they have voice acting, but I just love it when you have real actors do fake bad acting, because it's just always
Well, most of the time they can't do it.
Yeah, but it's like it's just always really, oh my god,
What was that frame rate?
That was the game trying to figure out what was going on.
Okay, I thought the game was doing that on purpose for a moment, but
So
No, that was just them trying to load.
So how did we walk out of Resident Evil into Nier Automata?
Magic door?
Yeah, you remember Beetlejuice? It's like once you're trapped in the house as a spirit, you can't leave the house. If you do, you get warped to the desert of Jupiter or Saturn, I think it was. I'm not sure. Wherever the sandworm's located.
Dune?
Desert of what?
Never seen Beetlejuice?
Have you ever seen Beetlejuice?
Desert of Jupiter or Saturn? Aren't those gas giants?
Yeah.
Excuse
Listen,
me.
I don't fucking look into the
Lewis.
lore of Tim Burton.
Tim
Lewis,
Burton.
all right.
It's not the lore of Tim Burton. It's space.
Listen, Lewis, it's very impolite to call Jupiter a giant, alright? He's very sensitive about these things.
You see, this is why Jupiter's hurling rocks at us.
What?
Yeah, they surmise that a lot of asteroids that pass by Earth are because Jupiter flings them at us.
Oh, they fall into Jupiter's orbit and then they
Get flung out. Yeah.
No,
I think it's spiteful.
yeah, Jupiter's really pissy that we haven't sent it a space drone yet. And it's like,
We
hurry it up.
have.
Hurry it up, I want more drones, guys. Jeez. Although it makes sense for me that Jupiter would be the really prissy, attention-seeking one because Jupiter was Zeus. So, yeah. Wait, are the enemies are the Bug Street Boys? That's
Yeah.
I love it. That's amazing. Bugs.
Also, 20 years
All
late.
right.
Well, no, John, they got a reunion.
Sure,
New Kids on
I
the Block
guess,
does.
Okay, everyone has heard of the Backstreet Boys, even if they haven't heard any of their songs, so...
Now, everybody who's put on the radio has heard Backstreet back. All right.
Yeah, no, but it's also like if a game today were to make an Austin Powers reference, it's like...
Listen, okay, Austin Powers is older than the Backstreet Boys.
No, but
they're about the same
You
time.
get my point.
No, Backstreet was like late 90s.
Austin Powers was
So was
late
Austin
90s.
Powers.
I thought Austin Powers was like earlier 90s.
No, you're thinking of Wayne's
it's
World.
late 90s. Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, my point stands as that Backstreet Boys is an underrated musical sensation, and Justin Timberlake can go. Actually, that's not true. I love you, Justin.
No, that's... I thought... Oh, wait. I thought Justin Timberlake was NSYNC.
Yeah, that's what I mean, because
Oh.
they were. Don't you remember the boy band wars of the late 90s, John?
I
People
vaguely...
Ted, it only matters if Frank West covered it.
I've covered the Backstreet Boy wars. You know?
Anyone remember 98 Degrees?
I vaguely... Again, these all sound familiar.
You see, you kids today don't know what it was like growing up in the true battle-hardened times of the Backstreet Boy and Sync wars of 1998. All right,
How's Hanson doing?
we don't.
Yeah.
What about Hanson?
Rest in peace.
It was really kind of a dick move when NSYNC teamed up with Nintendo to sync the
No,
It's okay. Find your place.
no. Second was Michael Jackson and Tupac's thing.
I was trying to think of a third war to get mixed up in that, but I couldn't. I honestly couldn't think of anything other than the boy band wars and the console wars. So,
Yeah. Like, I mean, I know that there are like One Direction was popular, and like I suppose the K-pop people. I forget their name, but they're popular. But they didn't have like the rival, you know. They weren't like going head to head with each other.
Yeah.
You didn't have to pick a side.
You know, I'm sure that Western social media has a lot to say about the popularity of K-pop celebrities. That's why we only all started using the word stan 3 days ago when it hashtagged for a while.
You see, I always just thought that it was about some guy named Stan. So
no one on my social media feed was using that word for anything until K-pop controversy happened.
See, I've been hearing that term used for years, and I always figured it was just a reference to the Eminem song.
There's an Eminem song called Stan?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's about an overzealous fanboy that gets too close to Eminem and ends up killing
So
himself
it
and his
originates
wife.
from something other than K-pop, is what you're saying?
Yeah, it originates from the Eminem.
I'm sorry
video.
I couldn't get back to you in time, but ran into some guy on the street and, wait, that was you?
Yeah, that was you. Damn. Yeah, but it is from that video. So when people say that they stand for this character, they are referring to that song.
Because they're that big. They're being that big of a fanboy over them.
Yeah.
So wait, you're saying to me that Eminem was the true K-pop artist the whole time?
He is the real Slim Shady, yes.
Yeah.
I just want to see Eminem doing K-pop dances now.
Okay, you know, I'll give Eminem props. I don't like rap, and somehow he made me like rap for like 5 minutes. So, you know.
Well, it helps that
I'm a fan of Eminem, but I'm also like after like the Marshall Mathers, I think it was LP, I think it was. That's like the only one I really dedicated any time listening to.
Well, it just helps that he's really good at it.
Yeah, like he is phenomenal at what he does.
It's also remarkable that he's like the only white person who can rap and not look like a complete loser. So, you know, there's that.
Don't shoot trash mouth Rip Van Winkle like that.
Rip Van Winkle is a fairy tale, John.
Vanilla Ice, anyone?
Sorry. That's Rip Van Winkle. Robert Van Winkle or something like that.
Oh. I don't know his actual name. It's just Vanilla Ice.
I think it's Robert Van Winkle.
Wait, that's... Huh. Oh, wait. Vanilla Ice has a real name?
Yes.
See, in
I just assumed he is just Vanilla Ice.
No,
yeah, Mr. Ice, your table's ready.
Come out of the womb, fully dressed in that terrible 80s garb, with the stupid hair, and that stupid douchebag look in his face. So... yeah, because, like, it's weird to me, because, like, if you think of other musicians, like, Tupac, like, or whatever, it's just, like, I don't think that, like, his real name was Tupac.
I'm sorry, like, for some reason my brain went in an odd direction. When you talked about Vanilla Ice, like, as if it were his real name, my brain just thought, like... The long lost bastard.
Name Vanilla, last name Ice.
No, my brain just crossed wires with Batman and Robin, and I thought the long lost bastard son of Arnold Schwarzenegger, heir to the throne of California.
Oh, okay. So sorry, I wasn't for some reason I said Tupac. I was thinking MC Hammer. Like, I don't know why I ever got those two mixed up in my mind, but I did.
Yeah, and for years we've been pronouncing that wrong. It's actually Mick
Wait,
Hammer.
so are we actually collecting coffee and donuts in this game called Coffee and Donuts?
Yes.
Okay.
We're using it to seance with the dead.
Cool.
I'm sorry, what?
Man, I wish it was that easy the whole time. You know, it's just like, okay, we need to figure out who murdered this guy. Oh, it's easy. We take the donuts from the break room. Yo, dude, who murdered me? Hey, it was my.
Can't go that way yet. You don't have the armor key.
This key is useless now. How do you know? I just fucking know, okay? Stop asking me that.
This is one
Jesus.
of those Zelda dungeons that has the boss door right at the beginning.
Yeah, and you have to go everywhere around to get to it.
Oh. But anyway, yeah, so Vanilla Ice was born as Vanilla Ice. MC Hammer adopted the name MC Hammer.
Already a more realistic building than the police station from Resident Evil 2. We have a bathroom here.
An actual bathroom, yes. At least until, 1.5 had a bathroom.
There are so many video games that don't have bathrooms, even when bathrooms are part of the game design. Like, John, you weren't here when we did Dead Rising, but in Dead Rising, you save at the bathrooms. There's no bathroom at the food court in the mall.
What?
What the fuck?
There's no bathroom at the food court in the mall. The first...
That seems like...
one is, like, The closest one is on the other end of a different plaza.
That seems like a planning failure, and also something that would probably get the owners of that mall fined.
The only way to the grocery store is upstairs. So how are you supposed to get your shopping cart to the parking lot? This is how you know that it was designed by video game designers and not real people.
Yeah, video game designers have traditionally not been good at architecture. And like the first game that I can think of where they actually got an architect to advise on level design was Star Wars Dark Forces, actually.
But that's Star Wars.
Yeah, I know. And they wanted to make it feel like a real place in the Star Wars universe, so they got an architect to help level design.
They got a Star Wars architect or a normal?
An actual architect.
I don't know why that sentence out of context is so funny. It's the same principle. Let's go find coffee and donuts. It's like you just see a fucking dead body on the ground. It's like, hey, if you hungry? Yeah, I'm hungry. There's some coffee and donuts.
I'll have a Boston cream, two chocolates.
You lost me.
A jelly filled. Give me a bunch of.
Sounds like a line from a Bad Boys movie or something.
There's a third movie coming out, and I can't believe it.
They made a third Bad Boys?
Bad Boys for Life,
one,
yeah.
They're making a third Bad
They
Boys,
made a
yeah.
second Bad Boys?
Yes.
Yeah, that was like 10 years
They
ago.
made Bad Boys?
Dude, that was more than 10 years ago.
Was Bad Boys 2 like 10 years ago?
No, it's further back than that.
Oh, hold on a second.
It does actually look like
Reminder, John, it's the year 2020.
2003. That was 17 years ago.
I told you.
I can't be the only one here who still gets baffled when you remember
The 90s wasn't 10 years ago.
Yeah, we're old.
Yeah, the
guys.
90s wasn't 10 years ago. Yeah, we're older.
It does
yeah.
look like it'll be a fun movie, though, I will say.
Well, Bad Boys
1990 was
always been fun.
1990 was 30 years ago.
V, thanks.
Sonic the Hedgehog is turning 30 next year.
Yeah.
All right, Tails, time to get my mortgage sorted out.
Mario turns 35 this
No,
year.
he turns 40. Next year.
No, Mario Brothers.
Oh,
Super Mario Brothers.
I thought you said Mario.
Yeah, Super Mario Brothers.
Donkey
Turns
Kong is
35 this
40,
year.
which means that if he were an actual gorilla, he'd probably be dead.
Oh.
We can discuss how old everyone is next time in part 9.
I don't want to. It's depressing.